Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have here for you. Twitter to rebrand as X. We got some XRP FUD. You're going to need it. And recap on the macro look on the weekly. And you're going to like these events, how they roll out, ladies and gentlemen. We got Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton, Stuart Alderoty, and Brad Garlinghouse coming out and fighting this FUD that's showing up here lately. And could Gensler be forced to resign? And how about a $15 to $35 XRP? And what is the chart saying now? Well, somebody roll that beautiful intro and we'll find out.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, the cryptocurrency market cap is $1.24 trillion, and it's off by 0.27% in the last 24 hours. Good morning, everybody. Bitcoin, 29,800 plus, 1874 and change for Ethereum. Tether market cap is 83.7 billion plus right now. XRP is at 74 cents. Now, we're off by almost 4% on the 24-hour here. We will take a look at the chart and see what's going on before we get out of here. So as we start here, I want to show you this from Ray Fuentes. Shout out to my fam. Just got my Glint MasterCard debit card. With Glint, gold isn't just an asset, it's everyday money. This is what I've been telling you. Bought my beachside coffee with gold, stored securely in a Swiss vault. Every purchase translates to gold currency, a golden move by Glint Pay. It's the only people who have done it, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look right here.
Check this out, family and friends. I received my Glint MasterCard debit card in the mail this week. Now I can buy, save, and spend gold digitally anywhere MasterCard is accepted. Welcome to Glint. Glint is a movement for gold as everyday money, designed to provide reliable form of currency, protected from the inflationary practices of governments. I activated my debit card at the beach and used gold to buy a cup of coffee. With Glint, gold ownership is digitized, democratized, enabling anyone to transact gold in real time. The gold I own with Glint is securely stored in a Swiss vault and insured with Lloyd's of London. When I make my purchases with my Glint MasterCard, my gold is sold and the transaction is completed with my local currency. Glint is key and gold is security. Check out Glint today.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know, you can get Glint private equity on Link2, along with the other amazing products like Uphold and Ripple and so many others, artificial intelligence, you name it, they've got it. Click the link for both of those and don't waste time. I tell you, wonderful, wonderful. I love Glint. Just in, Twitter to rebrand logo to X, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. You're seeing it, and we're on the edge of watching it happen. Twitter is becoming not just a social media app, but a super app that will combine payments and the ability to send and transfer value without leaving the social media app and without sharing your private information. This is remarkable, and it seems to be mirroring the WeChat app that is so successful on the other side of the world. So watch out, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot coming. And if you're a content creator, you're really going to love what's going on here, or if you've ever thought about being a content creator. Remember, there's tens of thousands of dollars creators made weeks ago. It says here, well, the program is opening up to everyone. All eligible Twitter users will be readily available or able, to participate in the program, and payouts will be retrospective from February 2023. The criteria is listed here, and you could check it out, but I want to show you that this is remarkable because this is about to be huge competition for a platform called YouTube, and they intend on paying 10% more than YouTube does, and monetizing Spaces is coming soon. Well, that means all of you hearing this have the ability to monetize, not just influencers. I think that's amazing. XRP listed against the euro by top European regulated exchange, and this is the Liechtenstein news, where XRP went back on the crypto exchange, and we know that Liechtenstein is a huge advocate for crypto space and a very safe place for innovators to create. However, this isn't. This is Jerry Brito and Peter Van Valkenburg, and here it said they discussed the Ripple ruling, and you got to be careful what you hear out here, ladies and gentlemen, but we need to hear it, and then I'm going to read you John Deaton's response here.
I think it's and we'll get to this in a little bit, but I think it's unfortunate that the judge here chose the specific labels of institutional purchases and programmatic purchases, or institutional sales and programmatic sales, to refer to these two categories. She could have picked any label in the world.
Yeah.
But she chose those two labels, and I think that has caused some confusion because people think, well, if it's about who you are, what your position is in the world. Oh, so if I'm an institutional buyer, then I have certain protections from the SEC. But if I'm a mere retail buyer, like a mom and pop, then I don't have these protections.
Sounds like a classic inversion of the public policy rationale for securities law, which is to protect mom and pop and say that the hedge fund can go do what it wants because it's a sophisticated investor with money on its own.
What is this SDNY judge thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course, she understands what the public policy of the securities laws are.
And no such inversion exists here because it's not about the buyer. It's not about being an institutional buyer versus being just a buyer on an exchange through the quote unquote programmatic sales. It's about the intent of the seller and what they put the buyer on notice of by their manner of sale. We can't go into the world and know what's in the head of everybody who buys corn at the grocery store. We can know that sometimes somebody stands in front of the grocery store and says, yeah, you could buy corn in there, or you could come over here and look, I've got this cornfield. I'll give you a huge discount on the future of all this corn. You're going to pay me up front. Like, then it starts to become a securities offering because now I've got all these additional promises about what I'm going to do with my cornfield.
Okay, this is enough of nonsense. I can't take it anymore. I've already had to watch it once. There's a blind bid and ask, and these two gentlemen, respectfully, should try reading the complaint first before trying to address what a security or isn't an investment contract is or isn't. This is ridiculous. Let me give you John Deaton's polite comment. Sorry, but this slight criticism of the judge selecting the words is completely misplaced. Read the complaint filed by the SEC and the motion for summary judgment. The SEC called the sales institutional sales, programmatic market sales, and other distributions. That was the words chosen by the SEC. The judge accordingly used the precise language chosen by the SEC to prosecute the case. So there it is right there. And look, I got to throw one more thing in here. Mickey Refresh highlights this right here. Can you believe Coin Center actually received seed funding from Ripple back in the day? Talk about worst money spent on a seed round ever. They've always had a bias against XRP. They were happy to take the $1 million seed funding in 2015-ish. It's unbelievable here. And yet Jerry Brito sits here after taking money from Ripple and trying to make an argument of how it's actually a security. I'm reminded of the song Backstabbers. Remember that? Yeah, that's what I'm reminded of right there. Let's take a look at the weekly recap here. Because truthfully, this is what Peter and Jerry are really struggling with, is that the things that I believe they are behind do not have the legal clarity. And they're pissed off about it. Weekly recap says this here from Watcher Guru, and this is nice. Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced his plan to back the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin if elected in 2024. I like old Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but I have to say that is a guarantee he will not be president. U.S. senators officially introduced bipartisan bill to ban members of Congress from owning and trading stocks. I say what took so long. U.S. Congressman Richie Torres asked the SEC chair Gary Gensler to stop its assault on crypto, says cryptocurrencies are not securities. SEC Chair Gary Gensler says he's disappointed the court ruled XRP is not a security, and he went further, and the SEC says they believe that the judge got it wrong. Number 5 here, Tesla reveals none of the $333 million of Bitcoin was sold in Q2 of 2023. Federal Reserve officially launches FedNow instant payment system. The SEC adds BlackRock, Fidelity, and 6 other spot Bitcoin ETF applicants to the Federal Register. Sam Bankman-Fried is paying millions of dollars to his lawyers with stolen customer funds, lawsuit claims. And it says here, the U.S. House of Republicans introduced a bill to establish regulatory framework for crypto, and the SEC judge's ruling that XRP is not a security was wrong. This is what has happened as our weekly recap here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know we're a little more in the week out, but you get the point. there are a lot of moving pieces and parts to this, and we need to keep an eye on it because it's not over yet. But what we do know is that Ripple made it very clear on their website, shout out to Derek for this, XRP is not a security. Find out more about the ruling now. Yeah, that's the way you do it, ladies and gentlemen, because nobody else can put that on their website, right? Yeah, because nobody else has spent the $100+ million to $200 million by the time it's over, as Brad Garlinghouse has referenced, and that is what it takes because it's a pay-to-play system. Attorney Hogan explained that appealing the recent XRP lawsuit decision is the only ammunition the SEC has got under its belt, yet it is just one part of a gray area in Ripple's conduct that could pave a way for a settlement here. And we know that the argument is over the early sales, and what Ripple would need is a waiver for the previous early sales, and then it would need, at least I would imagine, a no action letter going forward for commercial use and sales directly from Ripple in the United States. However, Brad Garlinghouse chimes in here and says an important topic has come up about protecting retail. The SEC created this mess by proclaiming it was the cop on the crypto beat when it had no legal jurisdiction. Where's that gotten us? Consumers left holding the bag in bankruptcy court while the SEC holds press conferences. It's absurd to blame a judge for faithfully applying the law. We all know legislation, not more regulation by enforcement, is the only way forward to provide clear rules and protect retail. Glad to see more members of Congress like Representative Ritchie and Patrick McHenry champion this, and so are we. And then here's Stuart Alderoty on top of that comment that says a security agency only has jurisdiction over securities. No security, no role for the SEC. Pretending to have jurisdiction when there is none is simply a political power play. It helps no one. It hurts everyone. And I hope that that Congress will act to stop what is going on here by the SEC. Ryan Selkis believes from Masari here, it would not surprise him if Gensler resigns soon. His only political future rests on bowing out gracefully in order to do the administration a solid in an election year, because we're making him an issue that could cost Dems in the Senate a key electoral college states. Although he says, I think it's unlikely that he resigns, he said, but it would be smart for the administration to ask him to. He's a major political liability in a tight election, and Biden can likely turn 50,000 voters if he pushes him out. And there you have it right there. Let's take a look at what's going on here. We hear a lot of talk about 5, 7, 13, 15, 25, $27, $30, $35 for XRP. When will it be? None of us ever know. But here we see in a recent report here that crypto influencer BitBoy projects that XRP could hit $15 within the next 18 months, he says, and possibly $35 if Ripple times its IPO correctly. Well, I don't know what it'll do, but I like his insights there. But however, John Deaton makes a nice comment on top of this article and says, Ripple's 50 billion XRP times $35 equals not concerned with $750 million in unregistered sales of XRP, which is the early sales that were ruled on by the judge in saying that they were unregistered securities. Not saying it will happen, just making an observation if it did. So look, I think the point here is that if Ripple were to go up to that price, do you think Ripple's going to be bothered if they got to pay a fine of $750 million for unregistered XRP sales in the early days? No, they would have no problem doing that, and they would be wise to do it because they would have to use less XRP to do it because the price has gone up, right? But let's take a look at what's going on in the market right now. Right now, we have this from Predico. Sorry about that. Yeah, Predico here. Has XRP has decreased more than 10% in 2 days. Should you worry? The answer is not yet. XRP is still producing higher lows, meaning the bullish trend is still intact. One thing that's worrying is the volume has been decreasing since last week. This means that less people are trading Ripple, which indicates a weakening trend. For now, there's nothing to worry about, but if we start going below 70 cents, then we could see revisiting the 60 cent level as potential support. He said to continue to monitor it here, but you can see the higher lows that are still happening on the chart, but the decreasing buy volume. So we want to watch that very closely, because if we're going to get to $15 or 35 or whatever it is, and I believe we'll go 4 or 5 digits at some point because of the use case of XRP, but that's not financial advice, but that's what I believe, my digital perspectives. I'm here for it to watch it, and we're further along than any other crypto project company, what do you name, however you want to say it, in the space with legal clarity. This is the fight, and it's not over, and I'm here for it till it is. That's going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.